Good morning, guys, and happy last Friday of July. Because a week from today will be August 2nd. Oh my god, this month has just gone by so fast. It is supposed to be 84 here with a real feel of 66. I can live with that. Easy. Okay. Today's devotional is going to be on setting yourself apart from the world. Romans 12, verse 1 and 2. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in the view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by renewing your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. So many times we see people, they just get pulled into so much drama. It's insane. And half the time, it doesn't even pan out. I was watching Stephen Bannon, Israeli News Live. Apparently, somebody from Moscow has given codes to the Israeli military to combat the S-300 series. Why? You see, these are the things that we get consumed by. And people start thinking, oh my god, they just start losing their minds, running around like Chicken Little, yelling the sky is falling. Here's the deal. My mom grew up in western New York. If you know where Camp Drum is, in the Canadian border by Alexandra Bay with Thousand Islands, beautiful, beautiful place. Go visit it during the summer. Stay away from it in the winter because it gets cold. Anyway, these islands are so beautiful. They're so peaceful. There are castles on them that are like centuries old. And around where she lived, my grandparents bounced back and forth from New York to Pennsylvania, Dutch area. What was called Pennsylvania Dutch. They went back and forth from areas in New York that had Amish communities and Pennsylvania where they had Amish communities. These people live a very simple life. They farm, they grow their own food, they raise their own livestock. When someone needs a barn built, they come together, they build the barn. The ladies cook a huge spread. I mean, massive spread. But it's comprised of everything that's around them. They don't go to say, oh my god, we got a barn raising, we gotta go Walmart, we gotta get this. No. No, they don't do that. They live in the world, but they're not being consumed by it. Now, I talk about humbling ourselves. And I try to as often as possible. This is part of it. Being in this world, but not being consumed by it. I used to want the newest phone, the newest car I could afford, the newest computer, the newest TV. This was the mentality that my mother had and she passed on. But as I've gotten older, I realized you cannot be in this world and of this world and have Christ live within you. It's just like this says, to have God's goodness, His pleasing and perfect will You have to set yourself apart from this world. There are so many channels here on YouTube that people create drama and everybody else is on top of it. They're right in the middle of it. But that's how they make their money. They are being consumed by this world. And I started to wonder if it was even possible in our society to accomplish this, to be in the world, to be a light of what we're supposed to be, to live a life we're supposed to live, and to share this without being consumed by everything else. I started to wonder, is this even possible? Then about a year ago, I came across Homestead Tessie, and she's doing exactly that. She is sharing her life. She's staying true to her Mennonite roots, cooking very simple food, living very frugally, living very close to the earth. And she even tells us there was a point in life where she was consumed with everything around her. Then when she got ill, they sold everything they had. Sold the burning vehicles, the big beautiful house, and bought a small, dilapidated house, fixed it up, turned it in to something that she grew up with, being Mennonite. She went back to those roots. She is in the world without being consumed by this world. Now, that is something that I try to do. It's not easy. I still work at. We are all still like a work in progress. We should have a sign on our forehead said "Work in Progress," because we are a work in progress. We are to be in this world, but don't be consumed by it. If you want to know what happens to people who become completely consumed by this world, just look at the Trumps, the Elon Musk, Bill Gates. They look like they're happy. They act like they're happy. But then look at Jeff Bezos. He looked happy. Now he's divorced. He is like $3.5 billion poorer than what he was a year ago because he got divorced. This is what I mean. He got consumed. They got consumed by the world and everything going on. And what happened is they stopped one day, looked around all the stuff they had, the big beautiful home, the fancy cars. They were miserable. There's a reason that one of the Beatitudes says, "Blessed are the poor, for they are rich in spirit." It's because, poor, we are not consumed by the world. We don't have the funds to be consumed by the world. Let's face it. My hope is in 2 years, I will be able to, in another year, I will be able to get a small home, a little bit of land, have a garden, maybe some chickens. I know that would make Antonio just over the moon happy. Have chickens running around until they wind up in the freezer. That won't make her very happy. Anyway, I have a very humble home. That's the devotion today. Let's figure out how to be in the world without becoming consumed by the world. I will see you Sunday.